Hi, this is Dr. Rajeshwar from YR PharmaTube. In the last lecture, we discussed about the introduction to anti-neoplastic agents. If you did not watch it, I have given the link in the description below this video. Watch it. In this lesson, we try to learn the classification and the general mechanisms of drug action of anti-neoplastic agents. The main objectives of this lecture are to list the types of drugs used in the treatment of neoplastic diseases and to understand the general mechanisms of drug actions of anti-neoplastic agents. Introduction. The word anti-neoplastic means against new growth. As we discussed in the last lesson, neoplasm is a Greek word which has come from neos and plasia. Neos means new and plasia means the growth. Putting together, neoplasm is meaning to the growth of a new cell. Anti-neoplastic drugs are used in the treatment of malignant diseases, that is, various forms of cancer. We have also discussed in the last class that cancer cells are of two kinds, benign and malignant. Benign cells are localized, while malignant cells have the capability of invading surrounding tissues and moving to the other locations in the body. The term cancer is used to describe many disease processes with the common characteristics of uncontrolled cell growth, invasiveness, and metastasis, as well as numerous etiologies, clinical manifestations, and treatments. These drugs can be used for cure, control, or palliative therapy. The word palliative means the relief of symptoms. Although these drugs may not always lead to a complete cure of the malignancy, they often slow the rate of tumor growth and delay metastasis, that is, spreading of the cancer to other sites. Use of these drugs is one of the tools in the treatment of cancer. The term chemotherapy is often used to refer to therapy with anti-neoplastic agents. Many anti-neoplastic agents are available to treat malignancies. The anti-neoplastic drugs may be classified into 6 types, namely number 1 antimetabolites, number 2 alkylating agents, number 3 antibiotics, number 4 plant products, number 5 hormones, and number 6 miscellaneous drugs. Coming to the first class of drugs, antimetabolites. Antimetabolites are the first chemotherapeutic agents discovered. They are the drugs that interfere with various metabolic pathways of cells, thereby inhibiting normal cell functions. They activate enzymes or alter the structure of DNA, changing the DNA's ability to replicate. Antimetabolites are structurally similar to the cellular metabolites such as folic acid, pyrimidines, and purines, which after being introduced into the body begin to imitate the structure of ordinary metabolites and antagonize them. Thus, antimetabolites are classified as folic acid antagonists, for example methotrexate, purine antagonists, examples mercaptopurine and thioguanidine, and pyrimidine antagonists, examples include fluorouracil, floxuridine, and cytarabine. Antimetabolites compete with these folic acid, pyrimidine, and purine metabolites to block important reactions leading to formation of either DNA or RNA. These agents are used for a variety of cancer therapies including leukemia, breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, ovarian cancer, and gastrointestinal cancer. Folic acid antagonists. Folic acid is an essential food factor. It is necessary for the production of nucleotides. In 1948, a folate antagonist, namely methotrexate, was found effective in childhood leukemia. Thus, it became an early chemotherapy drug. This drug competitively binding with the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase in place of folic acid and hence interfere with the nucleotide synthesis. Folic acid structurally consisting of 3 moieties, namely pteridine, para-aminobenzoic acid, and glutamic acid. In the structure of methotrexate, a methyl group is attached to the nitrogen atom of the para-aminobenzoic acid moiety, which is significant from the structure of folic acid. Purine antagonists. Of the several synthetic analogues of purine, mercaptopurine and thioguanine turned out to be the most effective in chemotherapy of cancer. The purine bases adenine and guanine are essential to synthesis of DNA. They are structurally related to natural purines, hypoxanthine, a naturally occurring intermediate in DNA synthesis, and guanine, in which the oxygen function attached to position 6 of the purine ring is replaced by a sulfur atom. These compounds compete with adenine in the formation of the nucleotide adenylic acid. When purine antagonists are utilized, the abnormal nucleotide is formed that prevents the replication of DNA. Consequently, normal cell reproduction does not occur. Purine antimetabolites are commonly used to treat acute lymphocytic leukemia and chronic myelogenous leukemia. Pyrimidine antagonists. 3 pyrimidine bases are required in the synthesis of DNA and RNA. They are cytosine, thymine, and uracil. 2 pyrimidine antagonists are fluorouracil and cytarabine. 5-fluorouracil is the pyrimidine base containing a fluorine atom at the 5 carbon position on the ring. Fluorouracil competes with uracil, whereas cytarabine competes with cytosine. The pyrimidine antagonists prevent the normal synthesis and replication of DNA. Fluorouracil is used in the treatment of solid tumors involving the colon, stomach, pancreas, breast, and ovaries. Cytarabine is used in the treatment of several different leukemias. The second class of antineoplastics are alkylating agents. An alkylating agent used in cancer treatment attaches an alkyl group to DNA. The alkyl group is mostly attached to the guanine base of DNA at 7th position, that is N7 atom of the purine ring. Generally, cancer cells proliferate faster than the healthy cells. Cancer cells are more sensitive to DNA damage, such as being alkylated. Alkylating agents are used to treat several cancers. However, they are also toxic to normal cells, particularly cells that divide frequently, such as those in the GIT, bone marrow, testicles, and ovaries, which can cause loss of fertility. They are highly reactive compounds capable of forming covalent bonds with nucleophile regions of intracellular macromolecules containing amino, hydroxyl, sulfhydryl, and carboxy groups, as well as nitrogen heterocycles such as nucleic acids, phosphates, amino acids, and proteins. Alkylation can also occur at oxygen 6 or nitrogen 3 of guanine, at N1, N3 or N7 of adenine, or at N3 of cytosine. During this process, many parts of cells including DNA, RNA, proteins, membrane components, and so on are also alkylated. Alkylating agents are classified into Number 1, nitrogen mustards. Number 2, alkyl sulfonates. Number 3, ethylene amines. Number 4, nitrosoureas. And number 5, other alkylating agents. The examples of drugs under each class have also been given. Nitrogen mustards. Mustine is also known as mustard, having the chemical formula HN2, was the prototype for the design of nitrogen mustards, and it was first synthesized in 1935. Mustard was used as a chemical weapon in World War I. Nitrogen mustards are organic compounds containing both nitrogen and chlorine atoms. Replacement of the methyl group of mustine affected both chemical reactivity and biological activity, as was shown in a study of aromatic nitrogen mustards. Examples: chlorambucil, mephalon, cyclophosphamide, and ifosfamide. Alkyl sulfonates. Alkyl sulfonates are esters of alkane sulfonic acids with the general formula RSO2OR-. They act as alkylating agents. Some of them are used as alkylating antineoplastic agents in the treatment of cancer. For example, busulfan. Busulfan is a bifunctional alkylating agent that weakly binds to DNA. However, it has the ability to cross-linking. It is generally used for chronic myelogenic leukemia and polycythemia. Ethylenimine derivatives. Ethylenimine is an organic compound consisting of a 3-membered heterocycle of 2 carbon atoms and a nitrogen atom, that is CH2 taken twice NH. Ethylenimine is also called as ridine. They are highly reactive alkylating agents. They alkylate DNA at position N7 of guanine, analogous to mechlorothiamine. Examples include thiotepa, benzotef, dipine, thiodipine, and phosphamide. Synthetic aziridine derivatives are now less in use as alkylating agents. They are used for breast and ovarian cancer, non-operable tumors, and reoccurrences and metastasis. Nitrosoureas. The word nitrosourea refers to the molecules nitroso, that is RNO group, and carmamide, that is urea group. These drugs are lipophilic in nature and are able to cross the blood-brain barrier. That is why they are sometimes used to treat brain cancers. Nitrosoureas are a group of alkylating agents that are used in medicine include carmustine, lomustine, and streptozocin. There are also other drugs of this group such as nimustine, semustine, and others. They differ only in the presence of a different R group which is shown in the structures. Other alkylating agents. These agents include cisplatin and carboplatin. Both the drugs are platinum derivatives. Similar to the other drugs in this class, they too bind primarily at N7 of neighboring deoxyguanylates, that is guanine, to DNA, which inhibits its replication. Both are highly reactive with carcinomas of the testicles, ovaries, heart, neck, spleen, lungs, and so on. The third class of drugs are antibiotics. A number of antibiotics possess pronounced cytostatic properties and they are extremely effective in treating certain tumors. Included in this group are actinomycins, anthracyclines, examples daunorubicin and doxorubicin, bleomycin, and others. A few of them, not including mitoxantrone, which is a purely synthetic drug, are made microbiologically. Actinomycins. Dactinomycin is one of the first antibiotics isolated from a liquid culture of microorganisms of the family Streptomyces parvulus. It is a chromonopeptide containing a chromophore, that is a phenoxazine ring, and two cyclic polypeptides joined to the carboxyl group at position 1 and 9 of the phenoxazine ring, which imparts the compounds the yellow to red color. It prevents DNA from spiraling by inhibiting topoisomerase 2 enzyme. It is used to treat Wilms tumors, Kaposi's, and Edwin's sarcomas, lymphomas, and so on. It is also used in the treatment of tumors of the uterus and testis. Bleomycins. Bleomycin is a complex of no less than 16 glycopeptide antibiotics made from the family Streptomyces verticillus, which have different R groups. They inhibit anti-tumor, antiviral, and antibacterial activity. When bound to DNA, they disturb the spiraling of both single and double strands of DNA. To a lesser degree, they inhibit RNA and protein synthesis. It is used for lymphomas, carcinomas, and sarcomas. Anthracyclines. Doxorubicin and daunorubicin are antibiotics made from the microorganisms of the family Streptomyces piositius. The structure of these anthracyclines contain an aminosaccharide residue, that is danosamine, attached to a naphthasine quinone nucleus. Doxorubicin differs from daunorubicin in the presence of a hydroxyl group at C14. A number of mechanisms have been suggested in which anthracyclines exhibit cytotoxicity. It inhibits topoisomerase 2 enzyme and causes DNA strand breakage. It also intercalates with DNA. They are also used for severe leukemia, lymphoma, breast and ovarian cancer, and other solid tumors. The fourth class of drugs are plant products. From very early times, use of higher plants in the treatment of neoplastic diseases has been known. The most important anti-neoplastic agents obtained from plants are the vinca alkaloids. They were isolated from the periwinkle plant Catharanthus roseus, that is Vinca rosea. The alkaloids have complex chemical structures. Structurally, they are dimeric compounds composed of an indole containing moiety, that is catharanthine, and an indoline containing moiety, that is vindoline. The alkaloids vinblastine, vincristin, vinrositine, and vinlirocin have anti-neoplastic activity. They are all closely related in their structures. Out of these, vinblastine and vincristin are in clinical use. The only structural difference in the two alkaloids is that vinblastine has a methyl group attached to indolene nitrogen, whereas in vincristin there is a formyl, that is aldehyde group at this location. Vindesin is a semi-synthetic derivative. Vinorelbine is another semi-synthetic derivative of vinblastine, which is given intravenously as the tartrate in the treatment of breast cancer and non-small cell lung cancers. They are mainly used for leucoses, myelomas, sarcomas, cancer of various organs, and for lymphomas. Epipodophyllotoxins. Etoposide and teniposide are synthetic derivatives of the extract of the American mandragora plant, that is May apple. Structurally, they differ each other in etoposide consisting of a methyl group, whereas teniposide has a thiophene ring system on the sugar molecule. The mechanism of action has not been completely explained. However, they act on the enzyme topoisomerase 2, which disturbs the twisting of DNA. In addition, they inhibit DNA and RNA synthesis as well as transport of nucleotides to cells. Cytotoxic action on normal cells is observed only in very high doses. These drugs exhibit significant activity in lymphomas, leukemia, Kaposi's sarcomas, and in testicular cancer. Teniposide is about 5 to 10 times more potent than etoposide. The next class of compounds are hormones. It has been known that the growth of tumor of primary and secondary sex organs such as ovaries, breast and prostate are dependent on the estrogen and or androgenic hormones associated with them to a significant degree. This is because carcinomas of these organs continue to exhibit the hormonal requirements of these tissues from which they arise. Depriving the malignant process of the source of these hormones therefore offers a potentially useful method of treatment. The methods available are surgical removal of the prostate, testes and ovaries, inhibition of a particular hormone's biosynthesis, for example aminoglutathione, hormonal therapy with estrogens such as ethinyl estradiol and diethylstilbestrol, and androgenic compounds, that is testosterone propionate, and more recently anti-estrogens, for example tamoxifen. All these modalities have resulted in varying percentages of remissions, definite increases in survival times, or at the very least considerable palliation of symptoms. Because the mechanisms of these drugs are hormonal, the type of severe drug-induced toxicities and even mortalities seen with the alkylating agents, antimetabolites and cytotoxic antibiotics are not encountered. Androgens. Androgens may be used in the treatment of women with advanced and metastatic neoplasms of the breast. Fluoxymesterone is often used as it can be given by oral. The anti-androgen cyproterone acetate is used in the palliative treatment of prostatic carcinoma. Flutamide, a non-steroidal anti-androgen, also has a clinical application in the treatment of prostatic cancer. Estrogens. Estrogens are used to control inoperable and metastatic neoplasms of the prostate. Stilbestrol is generally preferred. The use of estrogens in the treatment of advanced metastatic neoplasms of the breast is made only when ovarian function has ceased. Estramustin is a structural combination of estradiol and normustin. Estramustin sodium phosphate is given in the treatment of advanced prostate carcinoma. Anti-estrogens. A development of interest in the therapy of neoplasms of breast is the introduction of anti-estrogenic agents. Three anti-estrogens, namely clomiphene, nafoxidine, and tamoxifen, have shown useful actions in the treatment of human breast cancer. Out of these, tamoxifen is favored because of its relative lack of toxicity. Anti-estrogens such as tamoxifen bind to estrogen receptors in a way similar to estradiol. The receptor anti-estrogenic complex may bind to nuclear chromatin in an atypical manner and for a longer time than the normal hormone receptor complex. Furthermore, anti-estrogens may deplete the cytoplasm of a free receptor. Either or both the ways, the continued growth of an estrogen-dependent tumor could be severely impaired. Progestins. They are used in the treatment of inoperable neoplasms of the endometrium. They have also been tried in neoplasms of the kidney and prostate. Hydroxyprogesterone hexanoate, medroxyprogesterone acetate, and megestrol acetate have been used. Corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, synthetic steroidal drugs made from the natural hormone hydrocortisone and particularly prednisone, are frequently used for combination therapy for treating severe and chronic lymphocyte leukemia, Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphomas, multiple myeloma, and breast cancer. Corticosteroids exhibit an anti-tumor effect by binding with corticosteroid receptors that exist in many cancerous lymphoma cells, which leads to inhibition of both glucose transport and phosphorylation, which reduces the amount of energy necessary for mitosis and protein synthesis, which accordingly leads to cell lysis. Non-hormonal drugs. In addition to hormonal drugs, 5 other non-steroids that have a direct relationship to this section, as they are also used in cancer chemotherapy. They are aminoglutathione, flutamide, mitotane, tamoxifen, and lioprolide. Aminoglutathione is used for palliative treatment of prostate carcinomas and postmenopausal breast carcinomas. Flutamide is used in combination with lioprolide for prostate carcinomas. Mitotane is a derivative of insecticide DDT and is used on non-operable metastatic prostate carcinomas. Tamoxifen is used for palliative treatment of breast cancer in pre- and post-menopausal women. Lioprolide is a nonapeptide. Lioprolide is a synthetic analog of decapeptide and is used for prostate cancer when orchiectomy or estrogen therapy is counterproductive to the patient. The last class of drugs are the miscellaneous drugs. A large number of anti-cancer drugs that do not fit traditional categories have been approved for clinical use by the FDA. They are listed. Hydroxyurea. It is a hydroxy derivative of urea. The hydrogen atom of urea is replaced by a hydroxyl group. It causes a sharp increase in the number of WBCs in severe leukemias. Mitoxantrone. It is structurally related to the antibiotic doxorubicin. It is used intravenously for treating severe non-lymphatic leukemia, breast cancer, and so on. Dacarbazine. It is an imidazole derivative. It is the first representative of the series of triazine derivative. It is an alkylating agent and is used intravenously for Hodgkin's disease, soft tissue sarcoma, and metastatic melanoma. Procarbazine. It was initially synthesized as a monoamino oxidase inhibitor. Later, it was found to have the ability to act as an alkylating agent and inhibit DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis. It is used for malignant tumors of lymphatic tissue, brain tumors, lung tumors, and Hodgkin's disease. Amsacrin. It is an acridine derivative. It is a drug undergoing intensive trials for severe leukemia and lymphoma. It is a cytotoxic drug that binds with DNA with expressed specificity to the adenosine-tyrosine pair, thus inhibiting DNA synthesis. Asparaginase. It is an enzyme that hydrolyzes L-asparagine to L-aspartic acid, which causes a depletion of reserves of L-asparaginase, thus inhibiting protein and nucleic acid synthesis. It is effective for severe lymphocyte leukemia. Coming to the general mechanisms of drug action, the anti-cancer agents act by a wide variety of different mechanisms in order to interfere with tumor cell growth, motility or survival, or with angiogenesis. By far, the largest and most diverse group of agents is those that interact with DNA. Some do this by blocking the synthesis of DNA, for example 6-mercaptopurine, while others become incorporated into DNA and then interfere with its function, that is 6-thioguanine. However, others interact directly with the DNA by mechanisms including intrastrand, for example cisplatin, or interstrand, for example nitrogen mustards, cross-linking, intercalation between base pairs, that is mitose and throne, or interaction in the minor, that is ET387 and SJG136, or major, that is temozolomide grooves. Other drugs interact with the DNA by one of the above mechanisms and then cause strand scission, that is breakage or cleavage at the binding site. Antimetabolites work by interfering with key biosynthetic pathways, that is methotrexate, and antitubulin agents, that is vinblastine and Taxol, interfere with cell division by interacting with the microtubule components of the spindle apparatus. The recently developed signal transduction inhibitors are a rapidly growing group of agents that work by selectively blocking pathways involved in, for example, growth factor signaling, that is Gleevec and Iressa. The vascular targeting agents work by either blocking new capillary growth or by reducing the capillary of existing tumor growth, that is the anti-angiogenic agents, or by reducing the capacity of existing tumor vasculature, that is combretastatins. Other drugs are classed as hormonal agents, and examples of their actions including blocking the estrogen receptor, that is tamoxifen, or steroidal biosynthesis via aromatase inhibition, that is anastrozole. There is always a broad family of agents known as the biologicals that includes such agents as antibodies, interleukins, immune response modifiers that are known as interferons, and vaccines that are usually produced through biological processes such as cell culture and genetic engineering. Some agents such as prodrugs have been developed for use in more sophisticated cancer cell targeting strategies such as ADEPT and GDEPT. Finally, agents being developed against new targets such as RNA or protein-protein interactions, and those that are still in the research stage. These are all the references for this lecture. That is all about the classification and general mechanisms of drug action of anti-neoplastic agents. In the next class, we will discuss more on alkylating agents and the synthesis of some of the important drugs. Till then, never stop learning and never stop watching my videos. Thank you for watching this video.